Hello, friends, and welcome to the Friend Leigh Show. I am your host and friend, Leigh. Okay, you guys, for those of you that have been following us for quite a while, you know that for the last 12 weeks, we have been at the hospital. Big shout out to all the nurses and the support staff there. They have been absolutely incredible at Met. And today was the 12-week anniversary, or whatever you want to call it. And we just got shifted over to the kind of the next stage. So this is where Jennifer is going to be kind of rehabilitated into being able to get home. So we don't know how long this journey is, but at least she's out of a typical hospital setting. So this all happened in the last couple hours. So we are so grateful. So thank you to all of you guys that have been praying and just sending your good vibes and your love. Thank you. So we are super duper excited about this. It's a really good shift. I hope the volume, I hope you guys can hear me okay. There's a buzzing in the background. So just let me know if it's obnoxious. So hey, Britt. Hello, sir. Okay. So yeah, a lot has changed in the last couple hours and super grateful. So if this is the first time you are listening to the Friend Leigh Show, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. So this is the way that I like to kind of talk about the show. What it is you've been invited into my home. You're in my living room. We're all hanging out. We're having a conversation. Every month we have a new series. This month we are talking all about peace. And then what we do is we take that kind of theme for the month, and each week we look at one of the pillars from the Happy Framework, and we talk about that theme through the lens of that pillar. And so we've been talking about peace all month long. So we've already talked about how it affects our health, our affection for ourselves, our purpose, our partnerships. And today we're going to be talking about kind of the intersection between peace and youthfulness, and how important the two are, and how important it is for you to have peace around your youthfulness, especially around giving yourself grace, because we're not used to living into that kind of part of our life. We really have to be mindful about adding that to our life, whether it is doing actions that are more youth-like, or going after things in a more curious spirit. There's a lot to the youthfulness piece that we talk about. And so it's going to be interesting to talk about it as we're talking about peace. So Pop says volume is good and I don't hear a buzzing. Oh, good. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Britt. I really appreciate you. Okay, so what we also do is at the beginning of the show, I do more of an audio for you guys that are listening to it in the podcast format. If you want, I highly recommend Wednesdays at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, or whatever the equivalent is for you, that you head on over to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitch, and you watch it live in the video format, because just like you've been seeing, Pops has been coming on, Britt's been coming on, and when you comment, you become a part of the show. The nice thing is that you can be in your PJs because your comment is the only one that is going to be part of the show. You're not going to be coming up on video, so it's very casual, very easy for you to become a part of the conversation, and that really is my favorite part. So today, the title of the show is Peace and Play, How to Reclaim Joy in a Chaotic World, especially right now. It is so important that we are talking about joy, that we are talking about happiness, that we are talking about the framework and how to find moments every single day within the day for us to really be able to just enjoy our life. Because here's the truth of it, you guys. Right now, this moment, right now, we're sharing this moment as we're doing the show. This moment is your life. Your life is not something out there. It's not later on. It's right now. This is the only moment that you know for sure that you have. And so we can't keep trying to build a life that we will like, or build a life that we're going to be happy. We need to find that joy and that happiness right now, because it's the only part that we actually have. This is the only moment that we're guaranteed. Okay. So that's why it's really important to find those moments now. And even when we've been in this hospital, we have made so many good connections, so many friends and people that we have connected with on, we've exchanged numbers and now we are in contact, because we were able to find the joy even in the most dire, life-threatening moments. It's not to say that we were always happy, but we were able to find happy moments within it. And that just allows our nervous system to relax a bit, that you don't lose yourself. So let's talk about youthfulness as we frame it through the lens of peace. Okay. So here's the link between joy and the nervous system regulation. It's super, super important. We talk about this every month when we're talking about youthfulness on the show. We're talking about how youthfulness is not about age at all. It's about the energy and lightness and play that we bring into our life. Okay. So when we feel safe, when we feel calm, and when our nervous system feels regulated, we're more naturally able to be playful and joyful. And this peace is the foundation for true lasting joy. So we need to have peace and calm in order for us to feel safe enough to be able to play. And you may be saying, you know what, you don't know my situation. I am in a really bad situation that I never feel peace. I never feel calm. I never feel safe. And that, unfortunately, does affect a lot of people. And you need to work on that. So whether that is getting out of the situation that you're in, working with somebody that's able to help you move through that, but that's a totally different conversation than this. I'm talking about when you are in a safe place, that we really need to start focusing on calming our nervous system. And I also should give the disclaimer right now that I am in no way a healthcare professional. So if you hear anything on this show that sounds like I am giving you a diagnosis, I'm giving you treatment, I'm giving you a plan to follow. Please take any information that you hear on this show as entertainment, but also as education, and bring it to your healthcare professional, whether it's your GP or your therapist, or your social worker, or whoever you're working with. And say, hey, you know what? I was listening to the show. I came up with this thing. I'd like to talk to you about it. Okay. So please don't take anything here and apply it directly to your life. Your healthcare professionals know your medical history, know your family history. And that's really important to be combining all of that together. Okay. So, now why we've lost our play. Okay. So most adults are stuck in this chronic fight or flight. We're always we are so hyper aware of the things that need to get done, and I need to fix this, and I need to do this, and I need to go here, and I blah, 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 blah. And we're in this mode. There's no peace. There's no calm. And so we're literally just trying to keep our head above water. And when we're in that state, that's burning us out. It's disconnecting us from our family, from our friends, from ourselves. And we're not able to be spontaneous. We're not able to be curious. We're not able to be playful in our life. And so that's why it's super, super important for us to be able to find ways to be able to calm ourselves. For many, many years, I kept busy as a badge of honor. I was like, oh, I'm so busy. Oh my gosh, I don't have time for that. Oh my gosh, I'm you don't even know, I barely sleep because I'm so busy. And I felt like it was that's the epitome of a success, that I have a successful life. I have a successful business. I have a successful, and being busy to me was a correlation to being productive and being successful. And now I don't know if it's because I'm aging or because I'm becoming more aware. I'm realizing that being busy does not mean that we're being productive. Being busy doesn't mean that we're successful. Most of the time when we're too busy and we don't have time to do any of these other things, that should be an alarm that if you don't have time to play, then you're doing life wrong. If you don't have time to be calm, you're doing life wrong. And it's not to make you wrong. It's just to think the way that society has set us up, we haven't been taught that we can be calm and peaceful and playful. Mike and I this weekend, we went out for a walk, and we just had about 20 minutes. I think we were gone for like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. And he brought the football with him. And so we went for a walk. And then as we were walking, he went off the path, and there's this big field, and he's like, let's go down there. So we walked through the field and passed the football as we were going. We kept walking and passing the football. It was so fun. And then we came up with this, there was a playground. So we went in the playground, and I went on the baby swing, which is super fun, you guys. If you guys have one of those in your local area, super, super fun. So anyway, we went on that. We went on like some of the little rides that they have for the little kids. Such a great time. And so we just allowed ourselves to play and have fun. And we still burnt the same amount of calories, maybe even more. We had a good time. And when we got back, we were able to like get back into work mode. But we had this fun and lightness about us that it really just lightened the whole day. It was really, really cool. So, joy, silliness, they're no longer luxuries. They're not like, oh, when I retire, I'll be able to have more fun, or I'll be able to do these things. We need to be doing them now, because there is so much evidence that it is medicinal for us, that it helps our mental health. It helps our physical health. We need to be lighter. We need to be happier, more joyful, more playful, more curious. So just like we were saying last week about relationships, and we have to be more intentional with the time that we're spending with the people that matter to us, we also have to be more intentional about our peaceful, playful time. Okay. So a lot of the people that go through the Happy Circle and our courses and all the things that we do, the thing that I hear the most is that when they look at the framework, they think, the majority of people are like, okay, good. I like the health and the affection for myself. Those are the two pieces that I really need to work on. I also need to work on my relationship. And I also really need to like get my sense of purpose. Like all of these make sense to me. And a lot of the people are like, the youthfulness part, like that's cute, but it's not really important. Like that's not important for me. And as they move through, they realize that the youthfulness part is actually one of the most important parts for them to be able to do the other areas really well, to be able to show up for your relationships, to be more playful and curious in those conversations. It helps to be able to be more playful and curious and more, like not judgy for yourself or for others in your health, in the way that you speak to yourself. Stop talking and berating yourself negatively. All of these kinds of things are all a youthful way of being. And so they really do like go hand in hand. But the youthfulness piece, although it sounds really light and like, oh, it's adorable and cute, it's really, really important. So we've got to become really intentional about it. We've got to slow down and realize what really lights us up and what makes us laugh and get creative. And we got to do more of that. The other thing is that we need to let peace look silly. Okay. So peace isn't always quiet and still. It's not always like, and meditative and doing yoga and all of these things. Peace is, sometimes having a dance party in your living room. Sometimes it's just laughing at not somebody walking by, but something that just happened as you were walking by, or a reel that you just watched, and letting yourself like belly laugh. That's peace. That's being calm. And we don't have to be like quiet and meditative to be peaceful. We have to be safe. And that is what peace is us just feeling like we can be completely ourselves, without judgment, without all of the things. So there's a lot of studies that have showed that laughter reduces the cortisol, the stress hormone in our body. It boosts our immune system, our immune response, and even increases our pain tolerance. So having these laughter moments, these curious moments, these fun, creative moments, they're not only good just to because they feel good, they actually are helping our entire nervous system and our entire being. So, you guys also know that I always like to share some tangible action steps because you guys know my favorite quote is from the Dalai Lama, and happiness is not something ready made, it comes from your own actions. So, we're always talking about what actions can we be taking to go into these pillars and applying them right now to our life right now. So, here are some of the things that you can do. You can do something called joy tracking, and just for 1 week, you can track the moments where you feel the lightest, where you feel the most alive, where you're just full of wonder. And then notice what themes emerge when you're looking at this. Notice, like, oh my gosh, you know what? I feel most light when I'm fill in the blank. Or I feel most alive when I'm in this kind of situation, when I'm with these types of people, when I'm engaging in this kind of action. So do like just a week of joy tracking so then you can see what really lights you up. Also, when I was talking about how we have to be intentional with our joy and our peace and our play and all of that, set yourself a play date. Schedule 30 minutes, okay? Either this week or every day or even 10 minutes a day where you just are with yourself and you do something just for the sake of doing it, just because you love it, just because it's going to bring you peace or happiness. You do not have to be productive. Okay. So, I'm working with somebody right now that's one of the things that we're working on is, do we always have to be productive? And we're taught that that's what really feels good, but we don't always have to be productive in the sense that we're making money or that we're doing something that's pushing the needle forward or getting us closer to our goals. Sometimes just being in play is essentially getting us to our goals because it's calming our body enough that we're able to see more opportunity. We're able to step into our greatest being because we're a lot more peaceful. So things like coloring, things like just going for a walk in nature, just playing, dancing, doing all of these things, they don't have to be productive, but they are essentially productive because they are getting you to where you want to be. So I also highly recommend that you have a digital detox hour. So again, whether or not that is just maybe once a week, maybe on Sunday morning, you spend an hour where there's just no digital anything, no TV, no phone, no laptop, no nothing. And you're able to just let yourself wander. You're able to let your brain just kind of like sit in the moment, maybe daydream, maybe color, maybe dance, maybe go for a walk, maybe go barefoot in the grass. Whatever that is for you, go and do that for an hour with no screens. You don't have to take a picture of it. It doesn't have to go on social media. It could just be you and nature, you and your coloring book, whatever that is. And then I want you to keep a youthful anchor. So keep a small object or maybe a photo or a song nearby that reminds you to lighten up and return to joy. So it might even be like keeping a screensaver, like your background on your phone. Maybe it's a picture of your puppy, or maybe it's a quote that you love, or maybe you have like a ring that reminds you of, just being playful. Have something that like when you look at it, it reminds you to just let loose a little bit more. Just lighten up a little bit more. None of us are going to get out of this life alive. None of us. We're all going to leave when our time is due. And we really need to make the most of it. This is the only life that we have to live. And whether or not you believe in reincarnation or whatever you believe in, the life you're living right now in this body, we only have one. So why are we letting it pass us by and not just embracing every moment to make the most of it? So I'm going to go over to our things, see what we have for comments. I'm curious how much time you spend in your playfulness, in your curiosity, when you're showing up? Are you peaceful enough that you're able to live that type of a life? And are you able to find moments that you're really just kind of letting life happen? It's fascinating. One of the gals that are in our mastermind every week, we were talking about this, how she has really just allowed herself to follow her intuition, to let kind of God guide her, and things are coming a lot easier to her. And she's also one of the people that did not think that youthfulness was going to be something that she was going to really have to work on. But she loves it. That's one of the pillars that has like made all the difference in the world. So, let's see what you guys have to say. So Pop says, I want to go play in the woods behind you. Gorgeous. I know. This is so like, and my sister's bedroom, this is her view outside of the window. Like, brilliant. Like, it's so, so nice here. I'm so, so happy. And I also love, Britt, that you always are showing, you're always into what's happening behind me or on me or whatever. You're very attention to detail. I love it. Mel's here. Hey, beautiful friend. Hi. I'm so happy you're here. Oh, so good. So, okay. So what do you guys do? What do you guys do to like kind of calm yourself and find peace enough that you're able to, maybe dance or sing or, color? When was the last time you colored? I want to know these things, you guys. Do you spend time just being more youthful? So I have a couple questions because now we're going to, the last like 10-ish minutes, we're going to do a lightning round where we're going to ask a couple questions to get to know our friends. So it is the Friend Leigh Show. And I want to get to know you a little bit more. So I had dear old Chat GPT, let me open it up, do some lightning round questions for this. So we're going to just go. I haven't looked at any of them, so I'm going to answer them too. I'm going to read you the first three. Once you start answering the first one, once you get the answer, put it out there so you can be a part of the show, and then you can start answering the second one. I will read it a couple of times, but here are the first three questions. So I'm hoping that they're good because I haven't read them. So, what's one thing you loved doing as a kid? Okay, so that's good. So that's easy. What's one thing you loved doing as a kid? Number 2, when was the last time you laughed until you cried? Did we do some of these last week? Shoot, I feel like maybe, did we? I don't know. Anyway. And then 3, what's a silly thing that instantly makes you smile? Okay. So for me, the first question, what's one thing you loved doing as a kid? Hands down, I loved coloring. I absolutely loved it. And I've been cleaning out a lot of my stuff that I have from like 30 years ago. And I found a coloring book that I had when I was a teenager. And I've pulled it out. It's a Garfield one. And is Garfield still a thing? Like, do you young people even know who Garfield is? Anyway, it's a Garfield coloring book. And what's cool is that Mike used to love Garfield too. He was one of my favorites. So it's kind of cool that even when we were kids, we liked the same things. So I pulled it out and I started coloring in it, and the coloring pencils that I had weren't really great. Mike was like, what are you doing? Like, why don't we have crayons? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. So we went to the store, bought some crayons. And so now we're using crayons, coloring in the coloring book from like the 80s. It's so good, so fun. So that's one of the things that I absolutely loved. And let's see if anybody has, oh, here we go. Okay, awesome. So Pop says, riding my bicycle. That's what I loved doing as a kid. Oh, that's so fun. I loved it too. I really loved it too. Mel says, mud pies and riding bikes. And no, if it's not Fortnite, kids don't know. You played Fortnite? And no, if it's not Fortnite, kids don't know. Oh, Garfield. They don't know who it is. That's so funny. Yeah, that's true. Oh, interesting. So the lights just went out. That might be like the lights are out. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I don't know. Anyway, it's a new place. I'm getting used to new things. Okay. So that's awesome. Mud pies and riding bikes. Look at that. So Pops and Mel are married and they both loved riding bikes when they were kids. That's pretty cool. Yes, Mel. Okay, I got it. As I was saying it, I was like, oh yeah, that's what you're talking about. So, okay. So what was the second question? The second question was, when was the last time you laughed until you cried? Probably actually this weekend. And it was like, I can't even remember why we were laughing so hard, but I think it was like when I was in bed, I was just like so giddy. And so like, I just like couldn't stop laughing, and then like my stomach hurt. And, but yeah, I laugh a lot. So curious when the last time, Pop says, I don't remember. Okay. Well then you guys got to get on it. Start laughing until you cry. Mel says this whole year at school. Oh, that's awesome. That's how you know you're in like, for me, that's how you know that you're like in a really good place, somewhere that you're able to laugh, and not like a nervous laugh, but like just let yourself go. Cause that's one of the things that I think we kind of like hold ourselves back on, is really laughing and really enjoying the moment, because it's like not appropriate sometimes. So that is really cool that you're doing that at school, man. That's so awesome. And then number 3 was, what's a silly thing that instantly makes you smile? A silly thing that I don't know why. I am such a child. Fart noises always make me like just laugh hysterically. And my sister has this bed that it's like an air mattress bed. And so it goes up, and it'll go up and it's like relatively quiet, but it gets to this certain angle, and to get it straight up, it's like the plastic is like rubbing against the bed, and it always makes fart noises, and so loud. I don't know what it's going to be like here, but so loud that like you're out in the hallway, and if people are like walking by, they're like, wow, okay. Every single time, literally, this has been 12 weeks of me I laugh every single time. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Mel says, I like to kid with Brit. That's awesome. Yes, it's so nice. Mel says, farts. Yes. I don't know. Farts are just so funny. Mel says, so the question was, what's a silly thing that instantly makes you smile? And she says, scaring my family. And she said also people falling. Okay, so now Mel is like the sweetest, kindest person in the entire world. She's like, first time we met, we like ended up like crying and hugging, and like she's such a cool person. But it's so funny that every time she sees somebody fall, it makes her laugh. I know. So funny story. It's probably not funny. It makes me sound like I'm abusive, but I'm not. So the elevators at the hospital were like, they would just like, they wouldn't stay open long enough. So if like there were a lot of people coming in, then the last people, like it would just start kind of shutting on you. And do you know how many times my mom, because she's always like, oh, please go ahead. Oh, please go ahead. Like she's the kind, like, please, I'll go last. How many times she would go in and the door would shut on her, and she would just like bing, bing, bing off the walls. And I remember the first time it happened, I laughed so hard. And the people in the elevator were like, what is wrong with you? I wasn't even helping my mom. I was just laughing hysterically because she was like a ping pong ball off of the walls. I felt awful, but yeah. And that's probably why America's Funniest Home Videos, is that even a thing anymore? I don't even know if the show's on anymore, was such a big deal. I loved it. And there was a show, oh man, I can't remember what it was called. Oh, I wish I could remember, but it was kind of like an obstacle course, and people would have to like go and like run through things, and then like a big thing would kind of like wipe out. That's what it was. Yes. Yeah, you guys knew exactly what I was talking about. Both of them are like Wipeout. That was the funniest show ever. I could not watch it without laughing hysterically. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, so let's see what the fourth question is. Oh, this is nice. Okay, and then this will be it because then we have to wrap up, unfortunately. But so the last question is, who brings out your most playful self? Oh, and then let's do this one. So we'll do these last two. And then how do you define fun these days? Okay, so who brings out your most playful self and how do you define fun these days? So for me, absolutely hands down, it's Mike. He absolutely is my person that just brings out my most playful self. And then, yep, Pop says Mel and Mel says Britt. That's awesome. So I think that's really important too, you guys. Like, again, I am not a relationship coach. I'm a happiness coach. And, I think it's really important for us to see the people that we are spending the most time with. And if they're not bringing out our most playful, happy, joyful self, I don't know if we want to spend that much time with them, So, people ask questions about like, oh, I don't know if I like when divorce is like up in the air. I think that's one of the questions that we really need to be asking is like, who are we showing up in these relationships and who do they make me feel like I want to be? Do I want to be my best self? Do I want to be my happiest self? And it's not to say that divorce is the answer. It may just be, we got to work on this. But the way that we feel when we're in other people's presence is really important. So Britt and Mel, I'm really happy to hear that is, you guys are in the relationship where they make you feel the most playful. I think it's really, really important. And then the last question was, how do you define fun these days? And Britt says, anything that can distract me from the facts of life. Oh, you don't like that show? I loved the facts of life. Why would you want to be distracted by it? Yes. Okay. So then that is good. The other thing that I would say is that, so when you say that anything fun is that something that can distract you from the facts of life, maybe we need to start changing that whole idea that the facts of life are also the fun that we're having. That is also a fact of our life. Because if we really start becoming intentional with it and doing a lot more things that are fun and that are joyful and are light, those are also real moments of our life. You know what I'm saying? So if we could spend more time doing the things that really light us up, then that is also a fact of our life. Yes, disability, yes, pain, yes, all kinds of like hardship is also a fact of life, and they can reside in the same life. But we can focus on creating more of these happy light moments, and that is also our life. That just so happened to be on the flip side of the shit that's here, right? Like, I don't want to be 3 months in the hospital here, but there's also these like fun things that we can be doing and these moments that we can be having. So yeah, so Britt says, good point. Well, thanks, man. So, and then Mel says, define fun. Date night, and now it's summertime, just visiting together outside in the sun and even fireside chats. Oh, I want to be at a fireside chat with you. That would be so much fun. Yes. So those are awesome. Really, really, really awesome things. And what's interesting is like, so date night could cost something, but just summertime visiting with people outside, just being in the sun, fireside chats, none of that costs a dime, none of it. And so we really need to start looking at this, that like really the happy moments in our life, they don't have to cost us anything. We just need to be spending time with the people that matter, in the places that matter, and with ourselves, and really enjoy ourselves and just try to find more of those moments. So finding the peace and the playfulness, I think, are really, really important. And I'm really hoping that you focus on that this summer, you guys. Or if you're listening to this in the replay and it's winter, also find those moments. So Mel says, come on, girl, we would laugh a lot. Oh, dude, it would be so fun. Oh my gosh. Come to Canada. Come to Canada. If I ever make it back to Texas, I will make sure that I'm coming to see you guys for sure. Okay. So I love you guys so, so much. I have not decided completely on what the theme will be next month or what the series is going to be next month, but I will let you guys know. But definitely come back Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, and it'll be a good conversation. I think it'll probably have something to do along the lines of either commitment or decisiveness or something along those lines. Because I really need to, now that we're starting to see the tail end of this, I really need to kind of start upping my game. And I've got some other things that I'm sharing with people that you can take part in. Summer camp, there's all kinds of things that we're going to be doing. So it's going to be somewhere around there. I haven't solidified it, but it'll be a good series again next month. So I love you guys so, so much. Thanks, Britt. You have a great week too. I love you. Have a happy and healthy week. Love you. Bye.